The story begins with a boy named Michi, lying asleep under the shade of a big ash tree. The warm breeze passes by, but inside his head he hears a strange soft voice, telling him to listen to Eri, that she will guide him in his mind. On his forehead, for some reason, a Batman logo shines faintly. It's the only thing that seems to stand out about him because otherwise, he remembers absolutely nothing about his life. His first memory? Being in the women's washing area. He stands there confused in that memory, surrounded by shocked women. They scream and call him a pervert. Slippers fly at him from every direction, smacking across his face and body. "Let go of me, please," Michi shouts desperately as the girls catch him and hold him down tight. But instead of mercy, one of them kicks him straight in the balls. That was the day Michi lost his family jewels. The beating doesn't stop. They punch, they slap, they throw things at him until his clothes are torn to rags. By the end of it, he looks like nothing more than a beggar. Dragging his battered body, Michi slumps onto a bench. He sits in silence, aching all over. But then he hears something, a girl's voice calling for help. Not far away, two boys corner a girl. They want to play with her, but she refuses, saying she likes big boys. The boys don't back down, smirking and stepping closer. Before things get worse, Michi stumbles into the scene with his ragged beggar look. The two boys freeze, eyes wide, and without another word, they bolt in fear. The girl blinks at him in surprise. "You saved me in the weirdest way possible," she says softly. Michi, still hurting from the earlier beating, can hardly stand. But the girl places her hands on him, healing his pain with a strange gentle power. He stares at her, remembering that she was also one of the ones who beat him earlier. "Sorry about that," she says, her voice quiet. "I don't even know how I got here," Michi mutters. Then, with an unreadable expression, the girl grips his thick arm tightly. "Let me take you to my home. I want to properly thank you for saving my life." Time passes and we arrive at her home, a beautiful house with 2 chimneys and a black triangle in front. The artist's detail in this scene is amazing. She leads him inside and her father greets her immediately, his eyes falling on Michi. "Who's this beggar beside you?" he asks bluntly. "This beggar saved me from small boys," the girl answers. Then, without hesitation, she turns to Michi and says, "My father has explosive diarrhea." The father coughs awkwardly, thanks Michi, and excuses himself, saying he'll be back. When he returns after some time, he greets Michi properly and the girl tells him to sit. Michi, in his most handsome posture despite his beggar clothes, introduces himself. The father thanks him again and insists he stay in their home. The girl disappears to fetch her mother while the father chats with Michi. He asks what job Michi is aiming for. "I want to be an adventurer," Michi replies. The father nods proudly and tells him his elder son is already a guild master, and that he'll help Michi. The elder son's name is Jakob, and the girl's name, finally revealed, is Eri. Then the father leans back and tells the strange story of Jakob's birth. "You know, we tried for a long time for a baby but nothing happened. So I went to the mountains for 10 years, trained day and night, leaving my wife behind. After a long time I came back home, and found out my son Jakob was born." Michi stares at him, confused. 10 years, then how the fuck? Right then the mother enters, thanking Michi warmly. She moves close to him and suddenly the table starts vibrating. She smiles at him, calling him cute. But then, for some unknown reason, the table shakes harder until the soup splashes onto the father. Grumbling, he excuses himself to wash up. While he's away, Michi and the mother remain together, the table still vibrating mysteriously beneath them. When it finally calms down, Eri looks at Michi and asks about the strange Batman-shaped mark on his forehead. She notices how it changes color with his emotions. The mother narrows her eyes. "Wait for your father, he might know about it." The father returns, wiping his hands, and he too notices the mark. He pauses, remembering something. "I heard about this mark once when I visited Euromia," he says slowly. "They say, it glows in bright blue." And with those words, the mystery around Michi's forehead deepens. The next scene opens with Michi, lying in the room of Eri's mansion. He's about to fall asleep after doing it with her, when suddenly the distant howls of wolves echo through the night. Beside him, Eri stirs and whispers softly, "Don't worry, Lisha will take care of them. Every night wolves come to attack our farm." Lisha, their family maid, who is no ordinary woman but an ex-reaper. Curious, Michi asks quietly, "Can I watch?" Eri shakes her head. "No. Lisha doesn't allow anyone to watch when she's hunting." Time passes. The sounds outside fade. Soon the door opens and Lisha steps inside the mansion. Her cold eyes lock on Michi. You have some unusual powers, Lisha says firmly. Eri waves it off. We'll talk about it in the morning. Go take some rest. And with that, Eri and Michi drift back to sleep together. The next morning, Michi and Eri walk side by side toward her brother's guild. Eri speaks casually. My bro always looked out for me, and since you're my friend with benefit, he'll be nice. Mostly. I guess. Michi hesitates, then asks, will it be okay with me joining? She remains silent. Michi sighs. I'll take that as a warning. Soon they arrive. Eri introduces him to one of the veterans, before leading him to her brother's office. They knock. Enter, a deep voice calls from inside. The door opens and Yahello is revealed, drawn with sharp detail, powerful and commanding. His eyes fall on Michi. You're the one who saved my sister from little boys. Eri nods. He wants to join the guild. Yahello leans forward. You'll have to follow the rules. Okay, Michi answers without hesitation. Yahello rises. Follow me. They walk through long halls until they arrive at the guild treasure cave. Inside, countless weapons gleam in the dim light. Swords, axes, spears, lined up as if waiting for a master. Touch each weapon, Yahello orders. The chosen one will glow. Michi steps forward nervously. He places his hand on one weapon. It glows. He moves to the next. It glows as well. And then another. And another. Until, shockingly, every single weapon shines under his touch. Yahello's face darkens, sweat dripping down his temple. Impossible, you're a multi-weapon wielder. Fine. But how? Michi blurts out. Yahello lowers his voice. Omni-weapon wielders are legends. Eri turns to Michi, eyes wide. Looks like you're special. Yahello clenches his fist, his expression grim. Yes, special. And potentially dangerous. Both Eri and Michi freeze, shocked at his words. Yahello finally exhales. I'll keep a close eye on you. You'll be under my protection. Then he glances at Eri. For your sake, I'll guide him. Eri and Michi exchange a silent look. And thus, his journey begins. The next day, Michi and Eri are handed their very first task from the guild. Michi clenches his fists, thinking to himself, this is his first commission, he can't mess this up. Eri, walking beside him, leans close and whispers a few tips. When it comes to slimes, remember, they're not smart. But they're drawn to movement and sound. And their weak spot is their core. Got it? Michi nods, determination burning in his eyes. In the peaceful forest, the sunlight flickers through the trees as the two of them move cautiously. Then from behind the bushes a slime appears. Its strange, jiggly form bounces forward. Michi steadies his sword, steps in and slashes. With a clean strike, the slime splits apart, splattering its sticky matter all over them. Eri laughs happily, almost proud. Good job. But before they can relax, the ground trembles slightly. One slime turns into many. Dozens surround them in all directions. As Michi defends, Eri stumbles, slipping against the forest floor. Her hand reaches out for balance, and grabs onto Michi's waistband. In an instant, his pants fall to the ground. Michi's face turns red. This is not the time to do it. It will not stand in this situation. Eri looks up from the ground, her cheeks burning. But her eyes widen at the sight. Michi, tiny? Michi groans in embarrassment, but the fight doesn't stop. Together, swinging and striking, they defeat slime after slime. Finally, the last one bursts apart. They are victorious. But at what cost? Back at the guild, they stand before the counter, covered in slime but holding their first commission reward. Michi exhales and mutters, next time, I will do it. Eri smiles gently, holding his hand. I know you will. Both of them blush, their faces warm as they stand together. And thus for now the manga ends. If you actually like this manga, then honestly, something is wrong with you. But hey, thanks for watching anyway. See you in the next one.